Self-defense myth 42. We train in a realistic manner. Do you though? When I talk to people and tell me about this martial art or that martial art, I go, okay, well the difference between the martial art is the martial art you study is a martial art. What I teach is self-defense for realism. Not to put anyone down, I immediately say, if they tell me they do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or Judo or whatever, I will say, oh, well, that's really good for this, 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 and this. But when people say, I don't need your self-defense class because our martial art club teaches for realism, for reality, no, it doesn't. So you've got two different types of realism, two different types of reality. There's match fighting reality, which would be mixed martial arts, and then you've got street scenario reality, which would be self-defense. So the difference there is martial arts were running around for a very long time, and they were doing demonstrations, and you'd have guys do big high kicks or go pressure points in the shoulder and whatever. And then MMA came along, and I think it was 88, I think it was in Japan. You had Shuto, which wasn't really that well known. Then you had, in 1993 in September, in Japan you had Pancrase, which people kind of went, okay. It was more of a kind of a respectful grappling-based style, but it was still an actual fight. Then, of course, in November 1993, you had the first UFC, and everything just went, and suddenly everybody knew what realism was. Realism was Gerard Gordeau having Taylor Tooley's teeth embedded in his feet. It was 180-pound Hoist Gracie taking number 8 or 9 ranked in the world boxer Art Jimison down to the ground and submitting him with position. The first actual victory by a submission hold in the UFC was Ken Shamrock beating Pat Smith with a heel hook. So that was reality for the martial arts. That's a different type of reality for a street situation. So the reality with a street situation, you need to check off certain things on your list. So when you say we train for reality, my immediate reaction is always, what language do you use? So if you tell me you don't swear at each other, then you're not training for reality. And it's not just the buy of, oh, fucking great to see you, you fucking prick, how you fucking did. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you're in the fence, when you're doing your aggression lineup, are you having people swearing at each other? Because that's the language you're going to get. It would be kind of cool if you did have two massive biker gangs looking at each other going, you rotter, you cad, but it's not going to happen. Do you do an aggression lineup? So aggression lineup is something I've mentioned before. One of the subscribers actually commented that he's former military, and that's kind of what they do in the military too, so that was cool to know. The aggression lineup is you get your students into two lines facing each other. One side have got the fence, and it's their job to just focus on their breathing and keep themselves calm and controlling the adrenaline dump. The people directly opposite them are going to be stood however they want, but it's their job to go, fucker, you got a fucking problem with me, I'll fucking have you, fucking eat your face, you fuck. Just so we get used to having somebody a foot and a half in front of us, swearing at us, being aggressive, threatening us, spit flying off the mouth. Don't actually purposefully spit at people in the club, but that's what you get in the street. Do you do a fence? Do you do the lineup of the fence? Do you teach a preemptive strike? Do you teach a preemptive strike on the move whilst you've got someone swearing at you? One of the things we do is once you've been to your second or third session with the fence, and I'll hold the pad for you when you're protected top of the fence, is I'll start to knock your arm out of the way. Because everyone teaches the fence, but what about a failed fence when this gets knocked out? And the amount of people who don't know to just immediately bring the arm back up into place, it's staggering. So when people say, oh, we train for reality, do you? Do you train for aggression? Do you train for controlling the adrenaline? Do you go over awareness? Do you go over lineups? Do you go over preemptive strikes? Do you go over what the law says about self-defense? So I will link under this my earlier clips about self-defense in the law. I can only go over self-defense in the law as it stands for the UK. Anywhere else in the world, you're going to have your own laws. I suggest you do a quick Google search for your own country. If you're in America, it changes state to state. I think in America, in some states, it actually changes city to city, or county to county. It's something. Not every state is broad right across the board, so it is worth looking up in your state, what it would be, and looking up in your area, looking up in your own country. For Britain, we train as close to reality as you can get without actually going out into the street and picking fights, which is just ridiculous. And if you do that, then you deserve to get your head kicked in. So, if you're telling me that you train in your club for reality for self-defense, are you doing aggression, the lineup, the language? Are you going over the physical attributes that someone will exhibit before they actually throw something at you? You've got certain things as they'll try to balloon, they'll start doing this, they'll start speaking, yeah, so, and, what? It's all keys, it's all little things that you can look at and go, okay, he's got 3 of these 5 or 6 things, he's about to launch a physical attack, I'm going to crack him on first. So if you're not going over those things, then you're not really training for reality. Just the idea that once or twice a month you're invited to come in, like, the last day of school when you come in just regular clothes, not your uniform. Coming in once or twice a month in jeans and the polo shirt and doing the exact same techniques the way you've always done them doesn't mean you're training for reality. I know a lot of people are going to be upset by that, but that's the truth. If you do disagree with me, leave a comment. If you agree with me, leave a comment. If you agree with some stuff, disagree with some other stuff, leave a comment. Like, share, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. It's all interaction. If there's anything you'd like me to go over, leave a comment. Until then, train hard, train smart, stay safe.